yesterday was International Holocaust Remembrance Day, and so I want to pull from the vault one of my favorite clips. Many of you have likely seen this before, but Zay Squirrel tweets, "Today's the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz concentration camp by the Red Army. Here's Norman Finkelstein, whose father was liberated from Auschwitz, responding to the vile attempts to hijack and weaponize it by Zionists to launder their genocidal depravity." So here's Norman Finkelstein shutting down some students who tried to, as the tweet mentions here, hijack the lessons of the Holocaust for their ends. He's not having it. He's not having it. This is one of the great clips that we've seen emerge over this past year. So here's Norm Finkelstein.
Respect that anymore. I really don't. I don't like and I don't respect the crocodile tears to the crocodile tears. No, I'm so, folks. Allow me to finish and allow me to finish. Listen, sir. Allow me to finish. Allow me to finish. Sir. I don't like to play before an audience the Holocaust card. But since now I feel compelled to. My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother, please shut up.
Had it back then, still got it now.
My late father was in Auschwitz. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on my father's side,
the Jews did not take arms against the
my
Germans.
late father was in Auschwitz concentration camp. My late mother was in Majdanek concentration camp. Every single member of my family on both sides was exterminated. Both of my parents were in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And it's precisely and exactly because of the lessons my parents taught me and my two siblings that I will not be silent when Israel commits its crimes against the Palestinians. And I consider nothing more despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears. If you had any heart in you, you would be crying for the Palestinians.
Gives me chills every time. Really does.
You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the act?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the GOAT right there. That gives me chills every time. And, there's a guy who gave his life to this issue. He gave his life to this issue. He was ruined for this,
Yep.
So just thought we should play that. I mean, that speaks for itself. That is absolute fire.
Yeah, that.
Bless you.
That was one of his greatest moments, and yeah, man, he's one of the best that we have in this space. Because as he points out there, what are you gonna say to him? What are you gonna say to him? That he doesn't have a connection to those things? That's why they hate him so much.
Right. They hate him because he carries that pain with him. You could tell it whenever you talk to him that he carries that pain with him. And
that cry bully they kept cutting to.
Right. Yeah, the cry bully they keep cutting to. Like, what are you gonna fucking tell me that you feel it more than him? Like he carries that tragedy with him. And this is, like I said, just like the Holocaust survivor who we showed in the last segment, the best examples of Jews and Judaism that I could see is people who carry that pain with them and channel it in ways that they channel it, as opposed to taking that pain and twisting it into some psychotic, violent, genocidal fervor, which is what the Israeli Zionists have done. Right. To me, the best tradition of Judaism is to carry it the way Norm does, and the way Jews who speak out against the horrible abuse of the Palestinians have done for decades. And like I said, this guy, he really gave his life to this issue.
Yeah.
And he still does. He still speaks out about it. And he's a great guy. You know, we've interviewed him, 3-4 times in total? Twice here, once on Jimmy, so maybe 3 times. Great sense of humor. Just a really, really good person. But, you know, he really brings the emotional weight of this everywhere he goes. And that at the end there, when he just says, there's nothing more despicable.
More despicable than to use their suffering and their martyrdom to try to justify the torture, the brutalization, the demolition of homes that Israel daily commits against the Palestinians. So I refuse any longer to be intimidated or browbeaten by the tears. If you had any heart in you, you would be crying for the Palestinians.
It's
You go,
just flawless.
You
That
go.
Yep. That's just absolutely flawless.
Please clap.